Hello and welcome to this week's LexisClick Growth Journey vlog. Today we're looking at what's the point of your website and what's the key message that we want people to take away from today's vlog, Chris.
I think asking what the point of a website is sounds like we're in 1998, not 2018. But I think it's well worth asking yourself those questions. What is the point of your website? What is it that it needs to achieve for you as a business on the whole thing, and each on an individual basis on each page? What is the point? Make sure it does exactly what you want it to do. It helps the right people achieve their objectives, and it helps them along the buying journey. If you want to grow as a business, you need to make sure every page has a purpose and every page performs that purpose.
Yeah, that's really important. And why are we standing here, Chris?
Well, this beautiful sign behind us, welcome to Bournemouth, somewhat controversial, but it's kind of like Bournemouth's homepage. So this is the first thing you see when you get to Bournemouth, and your homepage is the first thing people see. So that was our kind of tenuous link as to why we're standing in this location.
And we got two different types of sign. One that welcomes people to Bournemouth, and the other that serves a very specific purpose in terms of directing them to where they need to get to.
Exactly.
So why is it that we're talking about this today, Chris? Why have we chosen this subject?
So every week we try and do a vlog that somehow links to what it is what we've been doing this week. And this week I've spent a lot of time doing a content audit for a client. So Steve challenged me to come up with a way of documenting this process so that they can understand it, and we can explain why we're prioritising certain things and perhaps how we get to certain conclusions to why we're going to prioritise this action or this page.
Yeah, and I think content audits are one of those things that customers quite often question us, why are you doing that? And what's important for doing that, and they tend to take quite a bit of time, 2 to 3 days for the initial content audit. So they're a reasonably big investment for a customer. So I suppose from your side, Chris, what are the key things that we learn from that, and how do we take the value from this activity and make sure that translates to value for the customer? And therefore, why should other businesses or any business look at this as an important activity for them to undertake for their business?
I think, marketing is like an infinite amount of things that you can do, and it's really important to try and hone in on what are the most important things that you can do to grow your business. And your website's going to definitely be a part of your business growth, and trying to figure out how to prioritize however much time and effort you've got, whether that's 5 hours or 500 hours to work on growing your business and growing your website as part of your business growth. It's really important to figure out what is going to have the most impact and which areas should you focus on, because you know that that's going to translate into business results and growth.
Yeah. So if someone wanted to run a content audit themselves or get someone in their team to do it for them, what would you say the key things that they need to look for are in that content audit? What are the key things that we look for when we're doing this content audit?
So you're basically going to start off with a list of all the pages, and you need to go through those pages, and you need to try and figure out what is the point of that page. What is it trying to achieve as part of your website? And ultimately, is that page doing what you think it should be doing? Is there a way of measuring its success? Like, is there a form that says, if you want to do this thing, fill out this form and download this ebook, or contact us and ask for a salesperson to come and see you? Whatever the purpose of that page is it actually doing that thing? And the process that you're going to go through is going to look at a bunch of different things. So we're looking at SEO, like, if someone's looking for a certain bit of information or an answer to a certain problem, is this page likely to appear? And the other side of it is the conversions. Once they actually get there, does it do what they're expecting, and does it do it well? Is it performing as a sort of tool within your business?
So off the back of that, how regularly would you recommend people or businesses go through this content audit process?
I'm reasonably confident that you either haven't done this before, or you did do it and maybe you didn't do it as well as you could have done it. So the first time is going to take a whole chunk of time, a lot longer than it will take the next time you do it. So I'd recommend that you do it every 12 months. The first one might take an extra 30 to 50% longer, because you've got to figure out how to do it, and how to do it the first time is going to be a lot more difficult. But ultimately, do it on an annual basis, like a real in-depth review of every single thing that your business is doing online, and then maybe review on a quarterly basis to see whether there's changes that are happening in your business that need to be reflected in the way that your website works and the content that's on those pages.
And it helps you also review the performance of each of the individual pages, because what you'll do is you'll do the content review, and then you'll identify some improvements, you'll make those improvements, then you need to look at, have those improvements had the positive effect that we want off the back of it. Now we've got to do this on our own website because we've identified we haven't done it for quite a long time, and our website perhaps isn't working as hard as it could be. So that's an important bit for our own growth journey. So we're going to be taking our own medicine and cracking on and doing it. Just, I suppose, really, really quickly, key ways that people could take this away and do it themselves if they need to.
So start off with a list of all the pages on your website. You need to figure out how to prioritise those. It's going to be different for each business, but you could do worse things by starting with the pages that have got the most traffic. You want to look at whether the right pages are getting the traffic. So there might be a really critical page of your website that's not ranking in search engines because there's a bunch of mistakes that you made on those pages. And then the pages that are getting traffic, do they have a really specific offer or call to action that people can take when they get there? And are you measuring it? And is it the right offer? And can you do anything to improve that?
Yeah, so if you do that across your website, you're going to get a really good sense of how it's performing now. You'll get a good idea of how you can improve it and prioritising those improvements, because we've all got a limited amount of time and budget. So make the most important priority improvements and then measure how they're performing, and then make sure you schedule this in as a regular activity. We recommend once a year as a big audit, and then once a quarter as a smaller, lighter audit, focusing on those improvement areas that you made and what the next round of priorities should be for the next quarter.
Absolutely.
So I think that's about it for today.
Pretty much covered it off.
Fantastic. So please subscribe if you've enjoyed this. Leave any comments in the comments below if you've got any questions, anything like that. And we look forward to catching up with you next week.